That's going to do it for the news portion of Fox Toledo News at 10, but don't go anywhere. The race for league titles and playoff spots heating up. Week 6 of hardcore football starts right now.
Fox Toledo Hardcore Football is brought to you by Broganstown, Chrysler Jeep Dodge, Little Caesars Pizza, and Central Catholic High School. Now, here's Howard Chen with all of tonight's action.
I encourage you to go live your moment. It's a big game. A lot of highs, there'll be some lows. How you handle that roller coaster is important. Celebrate those highs. Don't get too low on the lows because it's a 48-minute game. You got it? Let's go live a moment.
Let's go! On 3, be the best. 3, 1, 2, 3, be the best!
All about being the best. Hardcore football, week 6. Yeah, it's hard to believe it's here, right? Well, this week it gets serious. Tons of games with huge implications. And first, we go to the game where the voters showed up with more than double the combined votes of the other 3 candidates. Mike Thompson's at Genoa Eastwood in an SLL showdown. Mikey?
Hey, Howie, thank you very much. Fans, welcome to Freedom Field and welcome to week 6 of the high school football season. Hard to believe it's here. I've got on a fleece, and it just seems like 6 weeks ago, obviously, it was week 1 of the season. We were sweating like crazy, but you, the fans, have picked the Genoa Eastwood game as the Jim White Honda game of the week. So let's get right to the highlights and get right to the action between the Genoa Comets and the Eastwood Eagles. The Eagles taking the field early, and everybody was pretty excited for this one between the two teams, real fired up. And in fact, for Eastwood, they were really fired up. Opening drive, they marched right down the field. Zach Conkle, he's going to score himself a touchdown, make it 7-0 Eagles. This Genoa team has been dominating all year, but Genoa, they would come back strong. First possession for them, they drive it all the way down the field too, but in the way of Kyle Nutter. Pretty much every play went to Nutter, and he scores with a touchdown to tie it up at 7. Nutter, by the way, 41 carries, 219 yards, and 3 scores. Second quarter, Eastwood, they're moving the ball again. It's 4th and 1, but Genoa's going to stuff Pernell Connor at the line, turning the ball over on downs, but Genoa is going to make good out of this one. They capitalized with, guess who? Yep, Nutter. 2-point conversion was good, 15-7 at that point. It was 18-7 at the break. And then late in the fourth, we move to the fourth, 25-7 at this point. Connor scores, make it an 11-point game, but the Eagles do not get the onside kick. Genoa recovers. Final score of this one, 32-20. Genoa wins. They improve to 6-0 on the season.
Well, I think for us, for sure, is just keep getting better. I think anytime, we're 6 weeks into this thing, the one thing that we always want to do is try to get better.
Keep practicing how we have been. Nothing changes. We practice every week for playoff football, and we just practice as hard as we can every week, no matter who we play.
Kids played hard. I mean, we're proud of effort. Played hard right to the end. Genoa's got a great football team.
Yeah, Genoa is a good football team. And just again, I want to reiterate that Kyle Nutter touched the ball 41 times, 41 carries, 219 yards, 3 touchdowns. Genoa ran a total of 57 plays. I did the math. That 72% of the offense was handled by Kyle Nutter. Unbelievable. He's going to sleep well tonight. Legs might be a little sore tomorrow, but for the most part, not a bad game for him. So week 6, the Jim White Honda game of the week goes to the Genoa Comets, 32-20. They're now 6-0 in the season, and they're getting ever so closer to 4 straight SLL titles. Howie, that's it from Freedom Field. I want to send it back to you, buddy.
Good stuff, Mikey. Some pretty big games next week, too. Central and St. Francis, that's always a biggie, where you're not going to go wrong with 2 solid NLL choices. Or how about some TAC representation? Vote by clicking on foxtoledo.com. We'll announce the next Jim White Honda Game of the Week on Wednesday. Now a game with massive implications was St. Francis Whitmer. Last week, Whitmer made sure St. John's wouldn't run away with the City League. Actually, the Panthers ran with it literally to almost 400 yards on the ground. So now, if St. Francis beats Whitmer, the league title will be completely up in the air because St. John's beat the Knights earlier this year. Except that wouldn't be the case because Whitmer dominated this game. And again, just like last week, it was on the ground. Jody Webb, he scores to make it 14-0. Defensively, Kenny Hayes, we'll call him the Punisher. With a sack, he's going to Ohio State next year. He's good. Speaking of punishing, Trey Sterrett coming right at you into the highlights. 21-0 Panthers at the half. Third quarter, more of the same, but this time it's Webb's turn. He had 135 yards on the ground, 3 TDs for him. Whitmer rolling, 35-8. They win. Well, Central could be in that race too. So far, so good for the Irish. Facing Clay, first quarter on third down, Kevin McCauley maintains his balance, gets popped in the end, but gets the first down. Sets up Caleb Goings into the end zone from short. Central up 7-0 and going for more in the second. But Ross Achter, living up to his last name, making plays, intercepts Joey Schneider in the end zone, but Central still goes on to win by the final of 28-0. So how would St. John's do against an ever-improving start team that seems so on the brink? First play for the Titans offense, Nate White. He coughs it up. Malcolm King jumps on it for the Spartans. For the St. John's D, they played tough tonight, all night. Eric Tenbrink, vicious takedown on Silas McCall, and then the Titan offense. It's their turn. Brogan Roback, the stud sophomore quarterback, finds Sean Beach in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. 31-16, St. John's is your winner. Well, big games with the Norm tonight, and believe you me, there are more highlights coming up. Southview and Perrysburg, huge NL battle. That is coming up next on Hardcore Football. Welcome back to Hardcore Football. Only 2 teams in the NLL are unbeaten in league play and are unbeaten, period. Those 2 teams met tonight. Southview, Perrysburg. Time for 2 continents to collide. And it was homecoming for a lot of schools, including Peaburg, homecoming queen, Sophie Carter saying what up. Jackets down 14-0 at the half, but then the answer in the third. Matt Slocum to Steve Slocum. Same last name, obviously. Great moves, more obvious. With a spin move down inside the 10-yard line, sets up Matt on the quarterback sneak, and we've got a ball game, everybody. It's 14-7. Perrysburg also showing up with some D. Forrest Manning with a sack at Denard Pinckney, but Pinckney, he had a huge game today. Nick Joseph answers with a big run for Southview for the Cougars at the end of the third quarter. Gains a big chunk of yardage. A few plays later, inside the 10, it's J.Q. Bowers. He punches it in, and the Cougars win 21-7.
Once we got flowing in the second half, we just made a couple errors. We should have had a couple first downs, kept moving the ball. Just mental errors that kept us from doing what we needed to do.
Whether we're 5-0 or what we are, that's just a big game to both schools and both teams and coaching staffs and all that. You know, it's a showdown, whatever the situation.
More NLL. Anthony Wayne, Bowling Green, second quarter. A-Dub up big, 42-7, but it's BG Ball, third down, except it's not BG Ball anymore. Alex Bridges says to Israel Bento, no INT. There's an INT. Pick 6, 49-7. Anthony Wayne goes on to roll in this game. Final score, 55-14. Now, we all know Hopewell Loudon's a football powerhouse, but last week's 30-0 loss to Mohawk sent a message that the Midland Athletic League is completely unpredictable. And right now, Fremont St. Joe is numero uno. Battle for the top at Don Paul Stadium. Third quarter action, Hopewell down 3-0 until Tyler Tyree hits Austin Harrison for the 10-yard score. Chieftains up 7-3. Back come the Streaks. Zach Bowman up the middle 6 yards. Touchdown, 10-7 St. Joe. That makes the teammates happy. That makes the cheerleaders happy. Everybody's happy. Fremont St. Joe, they're happy. They win 24-14. Staying with Fremont, Little Giants visited Findlay. Both are future schools of the track when that league gets going. And we check the highlights real quick. Game tied at 7. Tyler Trotwine, the 8-yard score. Ross up 7. 1 minute left in the half. Findlay's Alex Henry from 6 yards out. He dives on in, and we're tied up again. Less than 30 seconds left in the half. Tyler Wolf looks, finds Skylar Refner. 35 yards to the house. This was a close game. 43-35 the final. Little Giants win. Moving on, Port Clinton and Oak Harbor, two teams near the top of the Sandusky Bay Conference. Like I mentioned earlier in the show, lots of homecoming going on tonight on Friday Night Football. King and Queen have to be happy about this, too. Davey Burkett takes the opening kickoff 85 yards. He's going to score for the touchdown. Rockets get a field goal in the fourth quarter to win it. A close game, 10-7. And we're not done with the highlights, but we've also got stories on hardcore football. If you're a fan of baseball's Jim Abbott, wait until you see what we've got next. Joe Rognoski has a heck of a story coming up next. Well, Josh Pack doesn't usually show up in Lake highlight clips. He's definitely a valuable member for this Flyer football team. This defensive end battles more than just 250-pound linemen. He's learned to block with one hand because he needs to. Here's Joe Rognoski.
Right leg, go.
At first glance, Josh Pack looks like any other football player at Lake High School. But take a closer look.
Good effort, Pack. Now get a little lower.
Josh plays this game and lives life with a very special challenge.
Good.
I was born with it. I don't really know how. It's just born. The doctors didn't even know about it.
Although born without a left hand and half an arm, Josh never let the apparent disability disable him or anyone else in his family.
I guess at first I was kind of shocked, but, God saw fit to give me Josh, and there was nothing wrong with him.
Still,
my mom actually got me some prosthetics. I don't even use them anymore. They just really don't appeal to me. I don't use them at all.
Josh never really thought twice about coming out for football here at Lake High School. In fact, he had an older brother that played here as well. For Josh, sports are just part of growing up.
Kick slide fast, don't they?
Bob Abbey is the head coach.
It's awkward because, you don't want to say the wrong thing. You don't want to do the wrong thing. Put those hands up. Disability, I think, is probably the wrong word to describe, Josh. But, he's a fighter. He works hard at it. He's a tough kid. Our coaches respect him. His teammates respect him.
I did ask the big man why did you make me like this? But I guess you have to embrace what the good Lord gives you.
And so that is exactly what he's doing.
I always wonder, are they going to achieve? Are they going to succeed and do what they need to do? Any kid, but Josh has extra challenges. And I remember the first time when he was riding his bike, because he's got a great sense of humor about it. He comes around the corner and he lifts up his arm and his hand and he says, "Look, Mom, no hands."
Josh Pack may never become an MVP out here or earn a college scholarship, but he doesn't have to. You see, Josh is already a champion in every sense of the word.
They've gotten used to me over the very long years that I've had with them, and I've cherished every part of it. Real nice, real good experience. I love it. I love it every single second of it.
At Lake High School, Joe Rognoski, hardcore football.
And tonight, Lake beat Woodmore 28-14. Now, recruiting is a tough game. Kids at smaller schools don't get looked at as much unless they make an effort. That's what Genoa's Luke Sutter faces. He goes to different camps with one goal in mind, not just to play college ball, but to do so for his hometown team, Toledo.
It's been noted that Toledo's making a clear effort to recruit out of its own backyard.
I'm just really excited, to even get contacted by them guys because I think UT is a great program and it's really exciting.
The Genoa lineman has been really excited to see the Rockets progress enough to win at Purdue and to lead from start to finish in that game.
That's a big win for UT, and you could just see how they're playing differently now under Coach Beckman, and they just got that energy about them, and they look really good this season.
It makes Sutter all the more eager to become a part of the Rockets' future. He's received letters from other programs, but right now he says UT is a strong number one. And if he got offered a scholarship to wear the midnight blue and gold,
it'd mean a lot. It'd be really cool, coming from a small school like Genoa. I think it'd probably mean a lot to people around here, and I think it'd be really cool. It's something I've always thought about, and just really worked at it hard. And if it happens, I guess.
Actually, if it happens, it would mean more than that. If he was to be offered a scholarship, Sutter's dream of becoming a part of Toledo football would come true.
And here's to living out your dream and living your life to the fullest, which means stay with hardcore football until the very end, because we'll summarize things up when we come back. Just a reminder for all the scores, feel free to check out our website at foxtoledo.com. And that's another hardcore football in the books. We'll BGUT play tomorrow. But tonight, that's it. Good night.